It's been 1 year since Red for Ed advocates made demands to Arizona lawmakers through protests, rallies, and walkouts around the state. They had a list of improvements, including 4 fully funded classrooms and higher wages. Cronkite News reporter Tavia Matteson reports the teachers union is gearing up for another fight.
Participants say they will continue to advocate for a fully funded classroom and better paid educators. And while they do not want to strike again, they say they will if they need to.
As budgets heat up and nothing is going to be talked about that had anything to do with what we did last year, my assumption is people are going to get extremely agitated and want to do something larger. What I think may come down to it, honestly, the governor and the legislature cannot fix this. We're going to have to fix it ourselves. Educators have been waiting. This election they were promised. It still hasn't happened. We may have to take it into our own hands.
It's now been a year since the movement, but teachers have told me not much has changed and that they will continue to fight for their students, for their classrooms, and for their families. It was just a year ago when over 70,000 education advocates participated in Red for Ed events and protests across the valley. And school counselor Amanda NOLASCO remembers it like it was yesterday.
It was amazing. I don't think any of us really knew how many people would be down there or the impact that it would have on our state. And it felt great to be down there with so many people sharing our stories, good stories and bad stories about what it's like to be an educator in Arizona.
And just what that's like?
Our teachers are overburdened in the classroom right now.
Teachers are paid on average about $47,000 in Arizona, and that falls short of the national average of $60,000. That's according to the National Education Association. The governor has proposed a plan to increase teacher salaries, but advocates say there is still a long way to go.
We know we have a gap in our skills gap, in our job gap and workplace. We know we have jobs that aren't filled, so the only way our students can be prepared for these jobs is if we are providing them an excellent education.
Over 7,500 classrooms are without a teacher at the end of each school year, and this doesn't account for
school counselors, social workers, psychologists, nurses, librarians, teachers' aides.
These are the same reasons other advocates like high school counselor Bill Lucas got involved.
I want to know that Arizona students are getting what they need from the amount and quality of teachers and counselors to be available, not just for my children, but children across the state.
Lucas is a high school counselor at Agua Fria High School, and he also participated in last year's walkouts.
We were not walking out on our students, we were walking out for our students.
Lucas and NOLASCO are not only educators, but also parents, and they say this makes their job even more important.
As a mom, I want what's best for my children. The children of Arizona deserve a fully funded classroom, and I hope that one day that will be the case before my kids are out of school.
Here's a timeline of last year's Red for Ed movement. On March 28th, more than 2,500 teachers, staff, and supporters head to the Capitol to demand 20% pay raises and increases in funding for schools. On April 11th, walk-in demonstrations involving more than 1,100 schools occur statewide. On April 12th, Governor Doug Ducey announces a plan to give teachers a 20% raise, but Red for Ed organizers say it doesn't go far enough. From April 26th through May 3rd, a teacher walkout closes schools across the state, impacting an estimated 850,000 students as more than 50,000 people protested at the state capitol. May 3rd, Governor Ducey signs a state budget that includes nearly $273 million for teachers' raises. Live in the studio, Tavia Matteson, Cronkite News.